founders of NeftyBlocks, an NFT, an end-to-end NFT management platform on the Wax blockchain. And I'm going to share today with you a little bit the story of how we got started with our platform and where are we going with the platform. So for those of you who are not really familiar with NeftyBlocks and the Wax blockchain especially, the Wax blockchain is, even if you haven't heard of it or you don't know it, it's the most active blockchain on Earth. It's the #1 by number of transactions that are processed, and the blockchain was created specifically to trade NFTs. It's as the previous speaker? Yeah, the previous speaker said, it has no fees or not costs, which is not entirely true. Someone has to still pay for the resources, someone has to pay for CPU, has to pay for RAM, and has to pay for network. But if you compare it to Ethereum, it's really, really cheap. I think. Here it is. So this all starts with an alpaca. In November 2019, my co-founder Jose introduced me to the Wax blockchain, to the Crypto Monkeys collection. And after a few days of trading NFTs on Wax and understanding how everything works, I said I want to have my own collection. And in January 2020, we launched Alpaca Wars, which is a collection about an alpaca who comes down of the Andes in South America and starts traveling the world looking for Apus dollar. And the collection became very successful in a very short period of time. We started selling alpacas, almost 2 or 3 alpacas per week, and it was crazy. And the project started as a family project. Even my daughters were involved, and they were creating designs and managing social networks and so on. But we couldn't really involve them in the creation of NFTs, minting NFTs, and so on, because this is what we had as tools. It was really, to me, it was crazy and even stupid that on a blockchain that is specifically designed to create and trade NFTs, that the tools that are available are smart contracts only. Just imagine that when you interact with a smart contract, you have to define the date on which you are going to sell your NFTs as a Unix epoch. So let me ask you, how many of you here know what is a Unix epoch? Okay, you two are developers. Because otherwise, nobody knows what is a Unix epoch. It's the number of seconds elapsed since the 1st of January 1970 at 12 midnight UTC. So imagine that that's the way you have to enter the date on which you wanted to sell an NFT. So we started creating tools to make this easier, and we decided to make our tools free for the community. So everybody was free to use the tools we created to drop NFTs, the tools we created to blend NFTs, and so on. And it was incredible. A few days after we released our first tools, we created also a Telegram channel, and hundreds and hundreds of people were joining the Telegram and using our tools to drop NFTs. And yes, Estar was born. We started there, and it never stopped. We kept on developing, adding new features, adding more tools for creators, and the number of users only grew and grew and grew. And we got to the point where we had a complete collection management platform. So on NeftyBlocks now, if you go, you can create a collection, you can create templates for your NFTs, you can mint NFTs, you can organize drops, you can organize blend, which are basically crafting mechanics for your NFTs, you can manage security, and you can manage all the resources, because when you are on the blockchain, and even if there are no fees, you still have to manage RAM and network and so on, and it's easier to do it if you go to NeftyBlocks now. So we had this amount of tools, and everybody loved them, but we still were making no money at all. So we had to find a way to make this sustainable over time. And at some point we introduced, something I forgot here is that we started by doing all of these tools to create drops and to create everything on our current biggest competitor platform, because we didn't have a complete platform at the time. So we were just doing free stuff for our competitor, growing their user base. But at some point we created our own drops and we started getting a small fee there. But we wanted to really make this a business and make it sustainable over time. And the way we found to do that was by creating our own token. And that's how we finance the development of the rest of the features that we have now. On August 31 last year, 2021, we released the Nifty Token. And as we are in the NFT space, we did it in a non-traditional way. We didn't go to a DEX or to a SEX. What we just did is that we created a pack, which is like a wrapper for an NFT, and we included an NFT inside. And when people opened the pack, we immediately transferred our token to their wallets. And in a matter of 48 hours or a little bit more, we raised almost $1 million, which was amazing. We really got a lot of support from the community. And since then, we have been investing more and more on developing the platform. So today, we have an end-to-end NFT platform that includes all the creator tools and includes a very nice marketplace. This was not the original marketplace that we launched. The original marketplace that we launched, I'm so ashamed of what we had that I didn't include as a screenshot in the presentation, but now we have a very decent marketplace, but still, we are not happy yet. Because in a few months, we got to be the #2 marketplace on Wax, but we are not happy with that. Being #2 is not near what we want to achieve. We really want to be #1. So to do that, we are right now working on a lot of different mechanics and introducing new reward systems. And using our token, what we did is that we introduced 3 types of mechanics on NeftyBlocks. So the first thing that we have is that we wanted a healthy token, and to have a healthy token, it has to be tradable. And on the Wax platform, well, initially there was only Alcor, now there is another exchange also, but there's Alcor, and there we provide liquidity for Alcor, and for people who's providing liquidity for our token, we have allocated a certain amount of rewards that you can claim every hour. Besides that, we created also a reward program for traders. So every time someone trades an NFT on our platform, he is getting rewarded with Nifty tokens. And finally, for people who stakes their Nifty tokens, we reward them with WaxP, which is the cryptocurrency of the Wax blockchain. We reward them with Wax, and they, at this moment, they get 100% of the secondary market fees, and that is going to gradually decrease until it reaches the 25% of the fees. So only by introducing the rewards, we have almost tripled our market share in 1 month. But again, that is not enough. We really want to become the #1 platform on Wax. And yesterday we released the NFT Quest, which is a trading competition that gives extra rewards to people, but it also includes a quest. So every week we define a set of NFTs that people has to collect, and they, by collecting them, they also earn points and can multiply their income. And they collect something we call rubies, and with these rubies, what they can do is that they will be able to go to something that will release in the upcoming weeks, which is the Nifty shop, and there what we have, or we will have, because it's still in a test, we will have something that allows people to redeem NFTs for real life items or for other NFTs and some other types of rewards. And it started yesterday, and we already see a big increase in the activity of our marketplace, and we expect this to go up and up over time. And yes?
Hi, my name's Corey, I'm from the Upper Forum. So you guys included one of the Uplithium miner NFTs that we have. You guys didn't tell us before that. It's awesome. But one of your guys posted literally 4x the price of that NFT class since last night.
Yes.
So thanks for that.
Yes, and that's what we are doing. As a matter of fact, what happens is that when creators want to use NeftyBlocks, we have a set of tools that are completely free. You can use them for free to create and manage your collection. But if you stake our token, you get access to premium tools. And for example, Corey, I think you're on level 2 or level 3.
On 2 different accounts.
Level 3.
Yeah.
So what we do is that we choose a certain number of NFTs from staking level 3 collections, staking level 2 collections, and staking level 1, and a couple of NFTs from the community to include them in the NFT Quest. And we don't let anybody know beforehand which NFTs we are going to include, otherwise we will pump the price before the community does it. So so that's what we are doing. And yes, it has been crazy how for some creators the volume has gone up. And we already learned after one day that we included too little NFTs, because we included 14 NFTs, and in a few hours there were NFTs that were out of supply in the market. Nobody wanted to sell them. So we are fine-tuning the mechanics to make it more interesting in the upcoming weeks. And in the end, where we want to go now is to making our platform more and more gamified and allow not only the collectors to win, but also the creators to earn more and win more by using our platform. And making what we really want, which is the #1 trade-to-earn platform on Wax. And basically that's what I have. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And if you have no questions, you don't have to ask.
Okay.
Thank you.
Where does your wax come from that you give out for rewards? Does your company have a treasury that you feed from, and then is that program going to go on until that runs out, or are you going to backfill it?
That's a very good question. Our tokenomics allow us to give rewards for 7 years.
Okay.
The max supply of our token is 100 million tokens, and we introduce to the market 150,000 tokens per week. Those 150,000 go 80,000 to liquidity providing rewards and 70,000 to trading rewards. And the Wax fee rewards, which are fees from the secondary market, come from a 2% fees that we receive from the secondary market trading.
And do your rewards have a tapering or a halving schedule, or are they just the same until 7 years from now?
Sorry, can you?
So your rewards, do they over time reduce?
For the liquidity providing and for trading rewards, they are stable over time.
Okay.
For market for the marketplace fees, yes, they reduce. Right now we have 100%.
That's what you're saying.
Then they will go to 75 in the next couple of months. Then they will go to 50%, and then we will share 25% forever.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep. Yes.
What's going to happen with the Betsy cards that came with the pass from August?
That's an amazing question. And normally what I wanted to do is allow people to blend those cards to get some rubies. But Jose is here, he's guilty. I didn't do it because he said, Juan, you always want to announce too many things at the same time and people get overwhelmed. They cannot follow up with all the ideas that you're having. So that will come later. We will allow people to blend their Betsies to convert them to rubies that they can use on the Nifty shop.
Hey, at the risk of making you announce more stuff, you know what I'll announce? Hey, just so everyone knows, right? I've been watching Nefty since the very beginning. At Uplift, we basically have a standing order. Anytime we can work with Nefty, we absolutely do it. So every time we even remotely suggest, hey, can you guys do this? The next day, Jose freaking deploys it. It's absolutely amazing. So the rewards page that you guys have set up, he's kind of understating that. Like the second that I saw your guys' rewards page, I took it to my team and said everybody needs to have a page. Every project needs to have a page like this, and they will, right? Like it's going to be a genre. The way you guys have it set up is really elegant. Could you maybe talk a little bit about the super blends and then the super blends to token put back, because that's just going to be nuts.
Yes, that's something that, well, there are many things that come because of the NFT Quest, and that's one of those. Part of the activities that we will have on the NFT Quest will involve some blending, but blending, for those who are not familiar with that, you provide several NFTs that we define. We say you need this, and this NFT, and you blend them to get a third NFT that is completely different, and the other 2 or 3 NFTs get burned. But what we are introducing now also is that you can also pay a small amount or whatever amount of a certain token, and you will receive the NFT that you want. But we can also do other mechanics like saying, I provide these 3 or 4 NFTs or 5 or whatever you want, and instead of giving you an NFT, we give you a token. So that's also something that we want to do, which is a little bit like having cash in your pocket and your bank account. Because just think as the NFT as the cash you have in your pocket, and you will be able to go to a blend and you convert that into a token. Or you have the token and you give it as an ingredient for the blend and you get an NFT. So it's like getting virtual versus real, but everything is virtual there. But yeah, you get my point, and that's
it's going to end up looking like an NFT DeFi swap.
Yeah, it could be used like that. You can start doing a lot of things once that is in place, and and it should be there very soon. And we are also adding many things like possibility to categorize your blends and more filtering and stuff. So yeah, in the end, we realize that gamification of collections is what we do best, and that's what we will continue doing over time.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, go ahead. So, I'm Max with Alien Worlds, and definitely check it out if you haven't seen it yet. My question is about like the future of where this is going. So on Ethereum, we have this like massive store value, and everyone thinks the biggest use case is in collectibles and art, but it's not. It's actually NFTs on wax, and you guys are pioneers in this. So my question to you is, where do you think there'll be like possible bridges between NFTs on Ethereum and maybe the NFTs on wax? Just curious where you think it's going. It's more like predicting the future question.
Yeah, that's a difficult question, but I think that the bridges are kind of complex, because if you think about this, most of the NFTs on Ethereum are one-of-ones, are unique pieces. On wax, you have several means of the same NFT. If you have a bridge, how will you move this? The easy thing to do is only being able to move one-of-ones. Because if you want to move mint 532 from wax to Ethereum, you will have to mint the 531 NFTs that were minted before on Wax on Ethereum to be able to mint the correct number. Minting on Ethereum, it's extremely expensive. So I don't know how will you reach that. So yeah, it's difficult. But yeah.
This is related. Just maybe we can catch up afterwards. I've minted maybe 20 million NFTs on Ethereum, and I can bridge that for you if you want.
Oh, that will be something cool. That will be very interesting. Let's talk about it. But and in the end, what I think that NFTs, when you ask about the future, I think that NFTs will allow us to do many more things where we interact with real life. I think that's something that will be very important in the future when you are able to redeem an NFT. Well, we will start doing it in a few weeks, where you can redeem an NFT for a T-shirt, or a cap, or a hoodie, whatever. But I think that at some point you will be able to have an NFT that represents a house, a building, a car, whatever. So I think NFTs have a lot of potential applications in the future. Yep.
What about triggering videos?
Yes, that's one of the improvements that we have in line. It's basically something we already do when you open a pack, that we can have an animation pack, and that will also come as a feature for the blends in the future. To be honest, we haven't been releasing as many features as we wanted, because we were really ashamed of how our marketplace looked, and we spent most of our time the past few months making the marketplace look and behave as it should, having something much nicer. But now we are getting back to developing features. Yeah. Anybody else? Good. Wax is the blockchain, and Wax is a fork of EOS.io. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
WaxP is the token of the blockchain, yes. Our token is Nefty, but the token of the blockchain is WaxP. Nefty. It's the Nefty token. Nefty. It can only be traded on Alcor. Let me go back here. Can I go back? Back.
Is it working?
No.
Oh no.
But it doesn't matter. But it's Nefty, and you can get it on Alcor, on the Alcor exchange, which is on
Which
on
slide
Wax.
is it?
This one.
This one?
Our own Shitcoin. Yeah. Okay. So if there are no more questions, thank you very much.